Good morning. Happy Friday. Had to just take a sip of that coffee, and I will explain my Frankenstein appearance here really quick before we get into what this video is going to be about. So I am, I don't ever know how to say this. Like, I am a skin cancer victim, patient. I don't know. Like, I have skin cancer often. I get diagnosed with skin cancer often. I am a skin cancer diagnosee. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So these stitches were a bad spot that I had removed. Stitches come out on Tuesday, and then I have two little, I don't know if you can really see them, but two little more red spots that were frozen off. So wear your sunscreen. I wear my sunscreen, but this is all from damage. You know, doesn't happen because I was out in the sun yesterday. It's from years of damage and tanning bed addiction when I was in high school, most likely. So anyways, that's not what we're talking about today, but I did have to just give that little disclaimer. So yeah, it's not pretty, but it is what we're looking like today. So enjoying my coffee, and we're going to do a full day of eating because today I'm going to be doing my extra 1,200 calories. So I'm on a meal plan with my coach. So once a week I get an additional 1,200 calories on top of that. So I am going to take it from home though. I'm not going to go out and have a meal out. I am going to do it here at home because, you know, I just actually love my food. And there's a sushi place we go to, which I really love. That's what we did last week for the cheat meal. But I'm going to have to use a fork for this next thing that I get into because all the spoons are in the dishwasher, which you might hear running. But anyways, last week we got sushi. But, you know, I just love my regular food, and I'm going to have a couple things that aren't like in my meal plan, like food. Obviously, I'm eating over my meal plan, 1,200 calories. So I'm eating all the food in my meal plan, which is 2,500 calories, plus an extra 1,200 calories that I can use for really whatever I want. So there will be some fun things included. The first thing of which I'm going to make right now. So we got back from Italy a few weeks ago, and I love cannoli, absolutely love cannoli. And I don't really eat dairy products in my meal plan except Greek yogurt, but we have this ricotta in the fridge because Jared was going to put some on his pizza tonight that he's going to make. So I'm not making pizza. You'll see later what I'm going to be making. But I'm going to make my Ninja Creamy for tonight, and I'm making a cannoli inspired creamy. So far I've just got my almond milk in here. And I am going to, so this is going to be part of like my 1,200 calorie, because I do get a creamy in my plan. So how I do this is I just kind of add up the calories of things that are extra in addition to my meal plan foods, but I end up combining like my last meal of my meal plan kind of with like my extra calories, because I don't space the calories out all day. I have it just pretty much like as dinner. I mean, you could do it as breakfast, as whatever, but it's a Friday morning. I'm not going to eat 1,200 calorie extra food at breakfast. So I do it at dinner time and dessert. So I kind of like combine those together. So ricotta cheese is not in my meal plan, but I still measure things out because I need to account for the calories, even though it's really hard to actually hit 1,200 calories in addition to 2,500. So this is whole milk ricotta. If you wanted to make this like more macro friendly, you could certainly get light ricotta. They might even have fat-free ricotta. You could probably use cottage cheese, be similar-ish. Actually, I have put cottage cheese in my creamy before. I mean, this isn't that, I'm not going to say this is going to taste like a cannoli, but it's going to be, you know, it's got ricotta cheese in it. And I'll show you what I put in it in addition to it. So this serving, a quarter cup, is 55 grams and 80 calories. So I'm going to see what 55 grams is. And that might be enough. This recipe, by the way, is not in my cookbook, but I do have other, yeah, I'm going to do 55 grams. I think that's enough. I do have other creamy recipes in my new cookbook, which just got published. So yay! I'm going to do a recipe from my cookbook for my breakfast / pre-workout. And that is not obviously in my meal plan, but all the foods are. So I'm going to make the egg white oatmeal. So usually in my meal plan, I have like egg whites, eggs, oats, berries. Well, I'm just going to swap some of the things around so I can make my egg white oatmeal. So I'll show you a recipe for my cookbook. Okay, so we've got almond milk, we've got ricotta, and I just did a quarter cup. And then I'm going to do a scoop of protein powder. And I'm just doing like, I have vanilla protein powder, but I don't have quite a full scoop left. And it doesn't make the best creamies because it's just a whey isolate. And sometimes I'll mix the two, but you know, today's the 1200 calorie extra day. I'm making this really good. So I'm using a Rule 1 protein, and it's a caramel flavor, but it's very light caramel flavor. It'll be fine. Plus, you know, caramel cannolis. I mean, that's going to be great. And then I wanted to sweeten it. I usually put like a skinny syrup in it. This is a cookie flavored skinny syrup, which I feel like would go. And then I'm going to put some vanilla in it. Our neighbors made this vanilla for us. It's vanilla beans. It's like homemade vanilla. So I'm just going to do like maybe 5 grams of this. I don't know. Yeah, that was 5 grams. Salt always. So I have like pink Himalayan sea salt here. And yeah, so I'm going to blend this up, and I'll turn you off for that because there's no need to have that noise going on. And then later I'm going to put, when I blend it, so I'll put it in the freezer and I'll eat it tonight. But when I do as a mix-in, I'm going to put orange zest in it, and I'm going to get some mini chocolate chips. So that's how it's going to be, like a little cannoli. All right, so I will pick you back up later when we make breakfast, and I will talk more about my cookbook as well. Okay, so getting ready to go to the gym. I'm gonna make my egg white oatmeal, which is a recipe in my cookbook, like I mentioned in my previous clip. So I'm gonna measure out my oats. And by the way, you could adjust any of the amounts to fit your own, macro targets. So I'm actually going to be using a little bit more oats than is in the recipe, but it will turn out completely fine. So I've got my dry oats measured, and I'm just going to, I just eyeball the water. You want to cover the oats. I like to make them pretty voluminous, so I probably put more water than what like the container suggests. So now I'm going to microwave. You can do it on the stovetop also. In fact, I feel like it turns out a little bit better on the stovetop. So you want to cook your oats, and I'm using like the quick oats. You could also do this with like the old-fashioned oats. I have all sorts of different oats, but I like these the best. I use the Quaker gluten-free oats, and oats are not, like oatmeal is not like a wheat containing grain, but there's a lot of cross-contamination. So I always get gluten-free oats. So you cook the oats until they are not done. That's not like a great terminology, but you cook the oats for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, depending on your microwave, you know, but you don't want them to be fully absorbed. You want it to be like halfway done. And then you're gonna add the egg whites. All right, so my oatmeal is about halfway cooked, and I've got my liquid egg whites in here. And here is the biggest thing with making egg white oatmeal, because obviously the oats are hot, and you don't want your egg whites to like clump, and like they'll clump if they cook right when they hit the hot oatmeal. So you need to have a whisk. You could use a fork as well, but as you're adding in your egg whites, you want to be whisking, whisking, whisking away. And, you know, it gets pretty full because obviously they are liquid, and it adds volume to your bowl. So you definitely don't want a small bowl for this, but you whisk, whisk, whisk. And I don't have any like white clumps in here. It's just making it look like there's more water in my oats. So as you see here, it's just like really, really liquidy. And then the key now is to put them back in the microwave just for 30 seconds. And whisk again. So I'm going to add them back into my microwave, and it really just looks like a bowl of oatmeal with tons of water, but a lot of that liquid is obviously the egg white. So I'm going to do just 30 seconds. You whisk again. It starts to kind of, you know, thicken up and solidify, and you're going to want to do that for like 2 to 3 rounds until it gets to a really almost like, it's not solid, but it's definitely like a fully cooked. You want to obviously cook your egg whites right all the way through. Fully cooked consistency. So it starts to kind of get a little bit whiter, I guess, around the edges as the oats and the egg whites cook, and that's getting a little bit thicker. I'm just whisking it again. And again, still no clumps. I'm gonna pop it back in for 30 more seconds. Probably do maybe 1 or 2 more rounds. Then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, so now you see the texture is very thick. So this is just egg whites and oatmeal. You could certainly just eat this, like if you wanted to sweeten it up, or, you know, add some cinnamon, some sugar-free maple syrup, but I'm gonna let this cool, and I'm gonna do the last step of things to put in it, which is Greek yogurt. All right, lastly, I'm just going to add in some Greek yogurt. And again, you can adjust the amounts to fit your nutrition targets, but it's kind of like almost the same amount of yogurt as egg whites. I think is kind of a good ratio. Like I wouldn't add like 300 grams of egg whites. That would be like way too much, but you're getting your protein from your yogurt and from your egg whites. So I let the oatmeal cool just slightly. I actually added a little bit of this blueberry skinny syrup. And now I've got the yogurt that I'm just gonna kind of fold in. It's like a huge bowl. Like this bowl is like full. I mean, this like fills you up so much. And if you're somebody that's like, I need to get protein in, but I don't like egg whites, like eating egg whites. I mean, you can't even taste them in here. It just creates this volume. And this is a huge amount of food. It's insane. I mean, this weighs a lot. And then I have some berries in here that I just defrosted. I usually put my berries on frozen, but because this is a little bit cooled down because, you know, I let it cool, and then the addition of the Greek yogurt, I actually defrosted my berries for like a minute. So yum. And then I'm gonna put some almond butter on top, sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of sugar-free maple syrup. I will show you what the final result looks like. Check this bowl. I just spilled some of the berry juice. It's so full. Check this bowl out. It's insane. It is so much. Then, of course, you've always got to finish with a little bit of salt. So we are going to dive in and then head to the gym. Let's do a little taste test. Yeah, that is fantastic. But I have berry juice now all over my counter, so we got to clean that up. Then we'll eat. Egg white oatmeal. Yes, this recipe is in the cookbook. Okay, this is a full day of eating, so just super quick, even though I already made it. Scoop of protein. This is the chocolate peanut butter. This is in my meal plan to have a scoop of protein and a banana, but I didn't have banana, so I just subbed some frozen blueberries. So frozen blueberries, a scoop of protein powder, some almond milk, and we're going to take this to go. So this is super thick. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy. Chocolate peanut butter and blueberry. It's like, I never did this combo before, but kind of like, I don't know. It's good. It is really good. So I'm gonna eat this, drink this, go run some errands, and I'm really excited for my next meal that I've got planned. So I will show you that when I get to it. Okay, so we've just been out running some errands, and I am just making my next meal. I always have cupboards open, always. This is not what I was planning on. I was going to do a lobster, like a deconstructed lobster BLT. I found this recipe, and I'm like, I can totally fit that into my meal plan because I have sourdough. I can do lobster instead of chicken. I have avocado. I can do bacon. I have turkey bacon instead of the eggs that I was, yeah. So I could have totally done that, but I'm just like, it was going to be a little bit more work than, I have lobster, like I have frozen little lobster tails. So I want to do that sometime, but today instead I am doing my tried and true avocado toast with sourdough and a salad, and then my protein is going to be, I've got my, I'm also putting some green beans on it. So those are in the air fryer with the sourdough. And then this is my favorite tuna, this Skipjack brand, wild caught tuna. So I'm gonna put this on top. I'm gonna check my bread. Oh, we're good. Okay. So I am going to put this on top. Let's see how much. It says in the can that it's like 142 grams, but you know, I drained it. So we have probably about 115, I'm gonna guess. That's usually what it is. 115, yep. So I'm gonna put some capers on it also. And I've got my sourdough bread, some green beans. So I'll just share a picture right here of what we end up looking like. And I'll do the lobster BLT sometime, but yeah, I'm just gonna be eating a little bit extra sourdough and some avocado, green beans, salad. Yeah, all right. Okay, this is what we ended up with. So we've got some green beans, my tuna with some capers on it, my avocado, my sourdough, So yeah, I mean, even though I get my cheat meal tonight, and I have lots of extra calories to play around with, I just love my normal foods. I just want more of them. This actually isn't really that much. This isn't really more than I would normally eat at this meal. And it's pretty much the same thing that I would eat on a normal day. So we've got lots of calories to still have later on tonight. Okay, I'm getting ready to make some of my meal for tonight, and I'm gonna put some of these lemon basil tortellinis on my salad. This is why people really underestimate how much they eat. I mean, take a guess at how many calories are in those 8 tiny tortellinis. They just have cheese in them. Lemon basil tortellini, gluten-free. 135 calories in just 8 of these things. That's insane. But I've got 1,200 calories to spare, so it's fine. Let's see how your pizza turned out, babe. Ooh. What's that got on it?
Oh, olive, onion, basil, rosemary, San Marzano tomatoes, mozzarella, and good pepperoni sliced.
Okay. Not bad pepperoni. Good pepperoni. Okay, as is typically the case when I record these full days of eating, when it's the end of the day, I'm like not wanting to film myself or talk, but I've got jasmine rice with coconut oil, cooked the sweet potatoes in olive oil, and some air fried chicken, which I marinated in barbecue sauce and a soy sauce combo, which kind of makes like a Japanese barbecue sauce. Burrata is also on that salad with the tortellini. And then this is to cap out the night. That ricotta in the creamy was fantastic. Some chocolate rice cakes, more chocolate chips. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll just close out the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to wrap this up and mention my cookbook again. So down below, I will leave the Amazon link. It's also going to be available on Barnes & Noble, but I think it's still like in process. So you can get paperback or an ebook, digital ebook. And I think it's like $8 for the digital version, the ebook Kindle version. And I think it's $17.99 for the paperback. So, yeah, I have a, little Christmas in July deal going now. So if you sign up for coaching, I will also include my cookbook for free. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you would like to see next. And I hope you have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is what my hair actually looks like. Yep, I actually have real hair. So I don't think I've had my hair I don't think I've blow dried my hair since Italy, which we left on July 3rd, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even do my hair on that day because it was a travel day. So it's probably been a good 3 weeks since I have dried my hair, but that's good, right? Less heat styling. So, yeah, but this is my hair. I do have hair. Okay, have a great day. Bye.